And Andrew Beaver walks past. Hang your head, son. We got you. We got you this time. All right. Xavs at 9-10. What's that? 64 to 2 behinds. Skivvies, they haven't even kicked a goal in 3 quarters. And it's the moment of glory. It could be the moment of glory for Xavs to win the flag. They've got to keep playing the way they've played. Keep the pressure on. Keep going first for the ball. Keep bumping St. Kevins out of the way. And just displaying the general skill that they've displayed. Quinny, I really do believe that they've been a much more skillful side, a much quicker side, and a much speedier side than St. Kevins, and that's why they've won. St. Kevins are too fat. Big knock by Richard Hart. Who's that there? Is it Mick Colopy? No, it's I don't know who it is, number 6 there. Who's number 6, Quinny? I can't remember. Cameron Mack. I'm sorry, Mac. Oh, you're bloody... Anyway, sorry, Mac. Big knock forward by Richard Hart once again. Ball hits the turf. It's wide. It's wide. St. Kevins first to the ball. Knock it wide. First in there once again is a beautiful piece of play by the Xavier player who dragged the St. Kevins player to the ground. It was Paul Toussaint there.
Chris Pearson.
Toussaint laid the tackle. Toussaint laid the tackle. Umpire says, give it to me, I'll have a bounce. Bounces the ball. Up they go. Knocked down by St. Kevins to number 27 for St. Kevins. Kicked it forward. Mark Connors is there for the mark. Ball hits the turf. St. Kevins have got the ball again, but it looks like it's a pack of players. The umpire says, once again, get out of the road, give me the ball and I'll have a bounce. Anyway, it stopped raining here and the wind has dropped. Big knock by Richard Hart. Beautiful knock there. The ball's wide. St. Kevins kicks the ball far forward. Mark Connors has got the ball. Good on you, Mark. Big kick forward to the wing. Bounce of the ball. Beautiful gather in by Joe McGrath. He's played a great game. Kicks it across to Cameron Mack. The bounce doesn't favour him and St. Kevins comes streaming through. Funny sort of a kick. Didn't have his balance. Odd sort of a bounce. Chris Pearson once again, rock solid, kicks the ball wide. Ball comes over. Justin Sadler's got it in front of him, gathers the ball, quick kick into the forward line, leading is Fenno, and he's taken the mark. He's taken the mark, 45 metres out, dodge past the player onto the right foot, kicks the ball in, and it's through for 1 point. Got a touch of class about him, Fennessy. The way he moves, the way he gathers the ball, and he has a big future.
Brilliant final series, second semi-final, and again today, absolutely played brilliantly.
Big future at the club, Mick Fennessy. Big long, short kick forward to the captain of St. Kevins, number 67. Big long drop punt looking for the player on the wing who's up there. Justin Sadler interfered. Millsy's on the ground. Millsy's on the ground. Get in there, son. Come on, Millsy. Pack of players there. Millsy's at the bottom of the pack. Richard Hart's there. St. Kevins are there. They're all over the ball. And the umpire says, the pack of players, disperse, please. Give me the ball. I want to have a bounce. Bounce of the ball. The ruckmen are there. Richard Hart's up. No, he's not. Knocked out by the St. Kevins player out of bounds. Out of bounds to be thrown in by the boundary umpire. The wind's dropped, I think, considerably, and the rain has dropped. It looks like a good weather conditions for the last quarter. Good shepherding in the ruck by the St. Kevins player. St. Kevins got possession, knock forward to Ginger, headed over there, and Justin Sadler's run him out and thrown him into the fence. Great play, Justin. Richard Hart's got the ball, knocked the hand pass forward. Gibbo once again, explosive pace. Hones is there. Hones is there once again. There's great tackling here, and the ball has been forced over the boundary line. And there's a bit of niggling between Hones and some of the St. Kevins players. And why not? And why not? Yeah, Hones calls the umpire a fuck knuckle. No, I think he called the boundary a fuck knuckle. Anyway, kicked into the middle. And Cameron Mack's there. Courageous play, Cameron Mack. And the captain of St. Kevins has got possession of the ball. Hand passes it across. But intense pressure. Mark Connors, rock solid, kicks the ball long. Looking for Paul Toussaint. Paul hits the turf. And who is it there? It looks like a free to Xavs for holding the man. It's a free to Joe McGrath. He'll take the kick. And Quinny, over to you.
Joe McGrath, 60 metres out, centre half forward. Very open forward line for the Crocs. Bernie Heafy, Brendan Prowse. Looking for Prowse. He's got to beat 2 of them. Nah, well shepherded out by the St. Kevins fullback. Good mark, good solid mark there to SKOBs. Kicks out far side of the ground. Bit of a mongrel kick. Oh, Good play there by, who was that? Blooming. Good play. Gibbo's running through. Joey McGrath gets his hands on the ball. Ken McNamara playing a fantastic game. Coming through. Oh, he's caught. He's caught. Yep, good tackle there in front of the umpire. Bad luck there for Bloom. Oh, Richard Hart it was. Anyway, SKOBs come out with the ball. Chris Pearson will punch from behind, as always. Ever reliable. Out to this far wing position. Oh, Pearson going in heavy there. Comes out to St. Kevins, gets a high kick up, but the ball's gone out of bounds. And on the fall, and that'll be a free kick taken over the outer side of the ground by Mark Connors, yes. That's his third kick since he's come on. He's doing well. Kicked it down. Looking for a big fly there from the St. Kevins man. He has, Mark Connors. He's played a fine game since he's come on. Showed a bit of dash too early in that third quarter. Big kick there from the St. Kevins man. Pack goes up. Xavier gets the hands on the ball. Oh, there he is again, that man, Mark Connors. Playing a fine game. Must have been on the jungle juice last night, Steve. Anyway, there's a pack develops. Half-forward flank position. Umpire blows his whistle and says, I'll have it, thanks, fellas. 6-minute mark, the final quarter. Crocodiles in control. 9 goals, 11, 65 points. St. Kevins are dismal, 2 behinds, 2 points. Bounce to the ball.
They've gone silent to St. Kevins.
Oh, haven't they? They've got a hell of a lot of them here too. The whole club's come down here today to support the SKOBs Warriors and been very, very disappointed. Anyway, the St. Kevins defence kicks out to the centre wing position. Big fly there from a couple of Crocs. Richard Hart playing a fantastic game. Ben Quin gets a kick in. Throwing a few punches too, I hear, young Ben. Anyway, the ball goes down to the forward line for Xavs. St. Kevins comes out with it. Oh, well, good pressure there. Good pressure from Cam McNamara. Coming out on the burst. Oh, great bit of play. Play by Paul Toussaint. Gets it down. Oh, can't mark. Oh, yep. SKOB does well and heads for the boundary. Very, very defensive play. That's not the sort of play you do when you're 8 goals down in a grand final at the 5-minute mark. You go up straight up the centre, Steve.
It's too early for hit the boundary line as well. We've got another 20 minutes.
That's the sort of talk we had back in the 1960s from that great Melbourne back pocket. Anyway, ball goes on. Knocked out. Players going in hard here. Mick Colby coming through on the burst. Can he get onto his left foot kick? He does. Great bit of play, Mick Colby. Comes out to the big man for the SKOBs. Played a solid game. Oh, ordinary sort of kick. He probably should be playing soccer. Kicks it down, looking for Prowsey. Oh, Prowsey stayed back. No, ball comes out to St. Kevins. Good clearing kick out to the outer side of the ground. Far wing. St. Kevins, number 56, in the van. No, he gets around, runs around 1, runs around 2, and then gets a kick smothered off the boot. Number 13 comes in again, gets a little kick in for SKOBs. Oh, running through. Michael Colby played a fantastic game. Big torpedo, goes over the top. Prowsey once again behind. I think that injury may have affected him, but he'd done all the damage before the injury. Anyway, Ben Quin comes off, and on comes Jerry Basho Grenville.
Oh, geez, he told me
Kick down.
time he was looking for someone.
Oh, he wants it, doesn't he, Jerry? He's got that Grenville look in his eyes. Anyway, Richard Hart gets the handball out. Comes out to Mick Colby. On again. Oh, through comes Borloo, playing well. Kicks long. Open defence. Bernie Heafy. Mick Fantasy on the burst. Oh, Fenno, a great bit of play. He runs an open goal. Oh, sensational. Oh, disappointing. Geez, he done all the hard work too, Steve. He'd done all the hard work and only let himself down. He won't forget that one for a while.
When he's digging his grandchildren on his knee as well.
Oh, gee, that's the lunchbox now, as well as Fenno that are going to have 2 to remember in years to come. Anyway, he's having a bit of a chuckle about it, Mick Fantasy. Knows what the score is. Know the game's well sewn up. Crocodiles leading by about 10 goals at the moment. 8-minute mark of the final quarter. Over to you, Steve.
I don't know about you, Quinny, but I can feel the tension running up the back of my spine. Nevertheless, there's a kick out of the back line, clearing kick into the centre, but Mick Colopy's there. The ball's wide. St. Kevins have got a big chance here to do a good, strong forward thrust. They've got the loose player here. They've got the loose player. Pearso's met him. Oh, just missed him. Past 1. Beat Colopy. 2. Long kicking to the forward line. And the St. Kevins player has taken a mark. He's taken a mark about 40 metres in front of the goal on a slight angle. But here is the chance for St. Kevins to say, well, at least we kicked a goal. At least they can say that they've been given a chance to kick a goal. Anyway, lines up. What's going to happen? He's dragged it. He's brought it across, and it's 1 point. Now St. Kevins accelerate to 3 behinds, a total of 3 points to Old Xavs. Score of 10 goals. What are we? 10-9? 10-10? Whatever it is. 9-12. Okay, there's a massive difference here, but the tension's still mounting as we can feel that premiership fever coming on. It's a beautiful go there by Cameron Mack. Yeah, pressure.
Jack Manley there.
Yeah, it was too. It's out of bounds.
Free kick to Jack Manley.
Yeah, it's out of bounds on the full, is it?
It was.
Yes. So the St. Kevins player will take the free kick in the forward pocket. Now, when I see forward pocket, I look for Heafy, but I can't find him. I can't see him anywhere. But
he's up the other end of the ground. That's why you can't see him down there. Co-commentators getting carried away with the euphoria of a prospective grand final premiership cup here. Anyway, picked up by St. Kevins. That's picked up by, Bloomy. No, off the ground. Matty Freeman back on. Doing well. Bloomy in the van. Another one off the ground. The left footer. Looking for Fenno. Fenno's got to make amends. Oh, good tackle there. Umpire says, yeah. Andy Berrigan. Oh, he wants to go on with it. Take your free kick there, Andy. He played for the Xavs a couple of years ago, Andy Berrigan. He's changed allegiances. An old SKOB kicks it up to Mick Colopy up the half-forward flank. Poor SKOBs. Ball comes out. Good play by St. Kevins. Gets it clear. Good defensive play by... gets that out now. Good tackle. Had to be thrown. Umpire's letting it go now. Richard Hart's gone for the boundary. He's hit the boundary. Look, we've got a few tired men out here at the moment, and it's on again at the... Oh, geez, there's a few punches being thrown now. I think the St. Kevins boys are a little bit frustrated. The ball goes out of bounds for a boundary throw-in. Half-forward flank, St. Kevins forward line. Richard Hart up in the mark, up in the ruck. Pearson up there. Bloomy doing the roving. No one. St. Kevins comes down. He fumbles. Slippery ball. Jack Manley. Great bit of play. Jack Manley. Cam McNamara on the burst. Shows in the ball. It wasn't tackled. Umpire's called. What's the umpire called? He has called too high. Cameron McNamara to take the free kick. Centre wing position. Centre wing position. Cameron McNamara. That's probably about his 18th kick. Kicks the ball, centres it up, looking for Gibbo. Up goes Joey McGrath. Comes down to Gibbo. Oh, Gibbo, he's a finals man. He was caught. Umpire said play on. And there's a pack develops and the umpire blows his whistle. I'll take it again, thanks, fellas. Refuses to make a hard decision, this umpire.
Looks like that $50...
It's done the damage. Those dirty photos, Steve, have done the damage, umpire Johnson. Anyway, St. Kevins kicks the ball up forward. Boylo running through. This St. Kevins, old man. Oh, geez, comes out. Could be a chance for a score here. Could be a chance for a goal. Oh, no. Oh, great play. Oh, Nick Boylo has a bounce. And gets one around the head and keeps going. Oh, great bit of play. Nick Boylo, he's done very well since he's come on. Just goes to show the depth that Paul Lefebvre's got to work with down there. Every man that's come on, Ben Quin, Mark Connors, Luke Silk, Boylo, Justin Sadler, have all done very well since coming on.
Boylo's been on from the start, Andy.
Sorry about that, Boylo. Anyway, over to you, Steve.
Okay, that classy little rover, Gibbo's kicked it up forward, looking for Luke Silk, jogging back. That tricky bugger, Silky. He's playing on. He's put a kick into the middle. He's found Hones. Hones is going to play on. Hand pass to Joey. He's kicking it up. Prowsey, no. The St. Kevins players drop back. It was good play by St. Kevins there as they're running it out of the defensive line. Not quite clear yet, but St. Kevins of Berrigan's there, but it looks like that the umpire said there's a collection of players. I want to have the ball and give it a bounce. Big bounce. Up they go. Joe McGrath in the ruck. Done very well today. He's played a great captain's game. The umpire has said, St. Kevins, you cannot shepherd and push in the ruck like that. Joe McGrath take a free kick at goal. So once again, Xavs have a shot at goal in an effort to lift their score up to 10-12. Lining it up, probably about 45 metres out, directly in front. He's pushed it a little bit wide and it's one behind. All right, now the pressure's on for Xavs to lock the ball into the forward line as we're probably about halfway through the last quarter now. 13-minute mark of the last quarter. The St. Kevins clear it out of their back line and finds the player in the middle, closely guarded by Paul Toussaint. Number 25 for St. Kevins has played a very good game today. He kicked the ball to St. Kevins centre half forward position and he's found another loose player. He got away from Nick Boylo there, got a couple of yards on him. It's a big punt kick deep into the forward line. Peter Tomanovich is there and taken a wonderful mark in defence. He's played a very, very good game today, has done everything that's been asked of him. He kicked it forward into the centre. Nick Boylo's there, dropped back, kicked it wide, and there's a pack of players forming. Ball's loose. Pack of players over the ball again. Ball's loose again. St. Kevins got possession, hooked it over the left shoulder. St. Kevins dropping back, but once again, magnificent play by Chris Pearson. Chris Pearson, a stalwart for the Crocs, a former first 18 Old Xavs player, kicks the ball into the centre of the ground. Doesn't find a Xavier player, and St. Kevins got the ball, and Hones has made a very crude tackle. That was an atrocious decision, umpire. It was around the neck, and you've paid holding the ball. Nevertheless, you can't help good luck, can you, Quinny?
We'll take everyone we get, Steve.
Short pass into the centre. Cameron Mack taking the mark, kicks it, looking for Silky, looking for Heafy. Ball hits the turf. Sylphie's got it. Hand pass out to Heafy. Cover yourself in glory, son. Steady, steady, and what's happened? It's a goal. Come on, Heafy. Do us the walk, Heath. Come on. What a great goal, Barney. What a great goal. Oh, pathetic bloody Brereton walk there. Pathetic. Have another go. Here it goes. He's doing it now. He's doing the Derby Brereton walk, and he's kicked 5 goals in a grand final, and that's not a bad effort from young Bernard Heafy. They said he'd never make it, but he has today. And Quinny, over to you.
Joins the greats, the Greg Normans, the Ken Dones. He's made it, this fellow, after they said he never would. Wayne Gardner's another one I'll throw in there. Anyway, ball comes back into the centre of the ground. 17-minute mark, final quarter. Old Xavs, the Crocs have got this game well sewn up. First ever premiership for the Xavier club in H Division. Scores are 10 goals, 13-70. 3 behinds to St. Kevins. 3 behinds. A very, very disappointing 3 behinds. The ball comes out to Damien Honan. He knocks it down. Oh, that's not Peter Grotchen on the ground. That's Peter Grotchen. He's come out of the blue. Peter Grotchen's been given a run. Oh, the best and fairest winner of last year's now find himself playing in a premiership team after a severe and crippling injury early in the season. Anyway, the ball comes out to the centre position. Scrambley better play here. The Old Xavs players are feeling very tired, and deservedly so. Free kick's been given away there to number 13 of St. Kevins. In the centre square, kicks wide. Who's he looking for? Oh, he found him. Silky on the third grab. He's played a fine game, Luke Silk. Bobbed in for a goal. Thrown a couple of punches. He's had a big day, Luke Silk. Anyway, passes out to Damien Honan. Honan's played a ripping game, shown his class. State representative early this year, and gets a 50-metre penalty too. Oh, he's having too much fun. He's having too much fun, Damien Honan. He's got a 50-metre penalty, probably too far out to goal. I'm sure he'll have a shot. Anyway, 60 metres out. He's looking for Prowse. He's given the lead. Heafy's hanging back. He's looking to short pass it, and he does. Oh, great bit of mark. Paul Toussaint. Great piece of play, and a fine kick too from Damien Honan. Paul Toussaint, bit closer into goal. Oh no, he's a long kick. 55, 60 metres out. Could make the distance here. He's gone for the short pass. Oh, great bit of play. Brendan Prowse, the class player of the team. Finds himself taking an easy mark on his chest. 20 metres out, directly in front.
Prowsey's obviously said, listen, Heafy,
if he can kick 5, so can I too.
I want to get in on the action, and I've had enough. So,
Prowsey, I think this will be lining up for his third.
Possibly third, but I'm sure
and he puts it straight through the centre. That's Brendan Prowse's. Oh no, he's come off the side of his boot. Yes, not to worry. He's had a fantastic game. Cocked a hard knock early in the third quarter. Had to come off the ground. But he's made his way back. Shown a bit of courage there, Brendan Prowse. Jack Manley now floating up on the forward line. Isn't it great to see Peter Grotchen back in the team? Absolutely magnificent. I said he'd never make it. There's another one that joined the greats.
He went onto the operating table a couple of months ago.
Back into the play here. Free kick going to St. Kevins. Push in the back. SKOBs still not giving the game away here. Still trying hard. Little quick pass over. Taking his time here. Knows he's got the cameras on him, number 27. Called out, either side of the ground. Oh, good mark. He's played well, this fella, and plays on. Gets a handball out. Shows a bit of dash. Ball comes down, 2 against 1. Cameron McNamara in there looking for a kick. SKOBs players are doing well. There'll probably be a ball up here. Scrambly bit of play there. Umpire blows his whistle. 7-minute mark, final quarter. A fantastic effort by these players, led by Peter Grotchen, Paul Lefebvre and Joey McGrath, captain on the day. Fantastic performance. Ball goes out of bounds, far side of the ground. Over to you, Steve.
Okay. Well, I even think Paul Lefebvre would concede now with approximately 3 or 4 or 5 minutes to go with Xavs 10 or 11 goals up. They have probably got the game won, don't you think, Paul? Nevertheless, there's going to be a bounce of the ball. The pack of players formed, and the umpire says, give me another bounce. Up they go. Richard Hart's up there, dominated all day in a magnificent performance in the ruck. He's led the side all day from the centre bounce, and he's a welcome addition to this Club 18 side here at Old Xavs. Richard Hart's been round the club for many, many years, and he's a real asset to the side. Up he goes again. It only cost you $5, Richard, that one. Anyway, it's a free kick to St. Kevins. Against Jerry Grenville. Now, will Grenny have a swing at someone? That's the question. He's learned a few cop holds at the academy, and what will happen in the last 5 minutes, well, no one knows.
My best player, Chris Bloom.
Close to the best player on the ground, Chris Bloom, has covered himself in glory today. Anyway, St. Kevins have got the ball again in a pathetic effort to bring the ball forward, but it's a good kick. But once again, there's Xavs players everywhere. Nick Boylo's in there with a chance, overruns the ball. Peter Tomanovic has trapped the ball in very good defensive play. But the umpire said, Peter, you're just being a little bit too clever. You can't lie over the ball like that. You've got to get rid of it. So it was holding the ball against Peter Tomanovic. And number 44 will have a chance to see if he can kick a goal for St. Kevins and accelerate their score forward from the 3 behinds that they've kicked so far in almost 4 quarters of football. Kicks, drags it. No, yes, it's going to be a point. He's hooked it to the left.
Raced up to 4 behinds.
Accelerated to 4 behinds. 4 behinds in 4 quarters. Well, is it a good day's work? Well, I let you audience answer the question. Kick forward by Peter Tomanovic. Big kick, and the ball's rushed out of bounds. Xavs, I think you've done a tremendous day's work today because you've won the flag. You've won the flag. There's only about 2 or 3 minutes to go. The ball's thrown in. A knock by Richard Hart forward. Great knock. And Tony Freeman's got the ball. Many years in the Crocs. Once again, it's great to see him participate in a premiership after 3 or 4 years playing in this competition. So Xavier player's on the ground. He's copped a blow to the head. Is it Mark Connors? Who is it? It's Hones. Well, it doesn't surprise me that Hones comes off the ground holding his head because he's done that to a few other people. Toos has got away. Hand pass to Jerry Grenville. Jerry Grenville's got the run on. He's got the ball to Bloomy once again. God knows how many kicks he's had. Kicked it up, Joe McGrath. Knock forward. Fenno's there. Silky's there. He's knocked the ball forward. Fenno's in with a chance. And it's the siren. Xavs have won. They've won the premiership. Undefeated, enormous percentage, and a great day's performance.
Absolutely sensational victory to the Crocodiles. I'm lost for words at the moment. They've gone through the season undefeated. Paul Lefebvre, in his first year of coaching, has done an absolutely magnificent job. They've had a record percentage in the history of the VAFA, 606%. Commiserations to St. Kevins. They've come through from the first semi-final. Commiserations to Curly Allen. Done well coming from the first semi. Finish off the season well. They never gave in the SKOBs. They were just outclassed on the day, Steve. That's what that's the bottom line.
They were beaten to the ball. Paul Lefebvre joins his players. He's elated. But isn't it wonderful to see Peter Grotchen there? Isn't it wonderful to see that he's
absolute highlight of the day. Peter Grotchen having a run.
Here we go. Here's the big song. You probably can't hear it, but they're all singing the club song. It's wonderful.
Victory, we will always see it through. Win or lose, do or die. In defeat, we always cry. Crocodiles, crocodiles, the team we love so dear. Premiers, we are this year.
Ooh, ooh. Absolutely magnificent. Oh, fantastic sight. We'll keep the cameras rolling here for the presentation. The presentation with the Premiership Cup. I'll just go through the team here. Some of the players. Simon Hogan had a fantastic game when he came on early in the at quarter time. He came on. Jack Manley, fine all day. Cam McNamara played a sensational game. Mick Colby led the defence superbly. Tim Connors did well when he came on. Matty Freeman was fantastic.
Very good first half.
Ben Quin went in very, very hard. Dished out a couple.
Yeah, threw the arms around.
Him and Jerry Grindle, I think they were two tough men of the team. Even Millsy did well when he came in.
He came on and followed the ball, got a few possessions.
Toos was
Great team man.
Toos was fantastic. Yeah. Showed his dash when the going got tough there early in the first and second quarter. Toos certainly shone through.
That bit of toe is enough to break
Johnny Grenville.
Johnny Grenville. Well, I think he was off on holiday. Oh, yeah, we better put an extension.
No, okay.
We still keep talking. Let's keep talking.
Well.
Thanks, Tim. Okay, we just put a new extension cord on. There's going to be a premiership. There's going to be a premiership celebration here in a minute. We'll continue going through the players, I think, Quinny. We'll continue to go through the players.
Justin Sadler.
Justin Sadler.
He got quite a few kicks when he
played
came on.
very, very well when he came on, and he has a promising future.
I haven't seen much of him, but he's done very well.
Okay. Oh, sorry. Oh, let's get in front of the camera.
Peter,
isn't this a lovely sight here? A couple of handsome performances.
Rock steady in defence.
Did everything that was asked for him. Repelled attack after attack. Kicked the ball long, and it was as solid as a rock.
Made up for the disappointment of missing the Australian Olympic 8, the rowing 8.
Careful. Yes,
he's
but
still
he probably
chance.
did.
He still could be a late inclusion, but very disappointed he's made up for that playing in a
premiership team. He'd have to get a quick
now.
flight to Seoul if he wanted to get there.
But anyway, Brendan Prowse.
What can you say? What can you say?
Three, probably could have.
The highlight, one of the best pieces of play from Prowse was that beautiful bump. A la Hutto.
When he came back for the mark.
Absolutely.
A la
Hutto. It was magnificent.
We'll keep going here. Number 34, the next one.
We've
already spoken about him. Absolutely fantastic to see him there. Now we come to the captain, Joe McGrath. He's becoming one of the legends of the Crocodiles, Joe McGrath.
A wonderful performance in the
centre half forward. Remember those 3 marks he took in the space of 3 minutes in the first quarter?
A great game.
Absolutely asserted his dominance over the game.
Led around the ground and did everything that could be asked of a centre half forward in a grand final.
There's my best player.
Number 37.
I don't know whether you'll agree because it was a very hard to pick. My best player, Chris Bloom, as they're singing the song in the background there.
Yes, well, I would say he would have to be in the top 3. I'm not too sure. I'll have to think.
Would have had 25 kicks.
Easily.
Half a dozen handballs.
Magnificent game and made up for the disappointing result to the game last year when we didn't make the finals and were beaten by St. Kevins.
On to number 42, the vice-captain of the team.
Well, he threw a few punches. He threw a few punches in the last half. But all I can say is that it was expected. It was expected that Holmes would play that way.
It was. Now, what about that little grasshopper, number 43, Luke Silk?
Luke Silk. Well, I don't know.
Up there in the second quarter.
I don't know how he got onto the ground.
I don't think the coach knew he was
still reckon there was a tunnel. I reckon Lefebvre got a few excavators there last night.
I had a chat to his father who's at the game at half-time. He said he was shocked to see his son playing.
He got on the ground. I don't know how he did, but just goes to show you.
Number 44.
You've got to watch
number
these
44. Watch out for his hands tonight too, girls. Number 44.
Bernard
Lunchbox
Heafy.
Magnificent game. He's kicked 5 goals in a grand final.
Yes, he's played very well.
He's a finals player.
He's got over the crippling hamstring injuries and the scar tissue he's had over the years. You won't see him complaining about the hamstrings tonight. He's played a very good game. Yeah. We won't let him forget about that goal that he missed.
And I'll tell you what, Steve, I'll look back at the replay, some of his teammates. I know Brendan Prowse, I think there might have been 2 or 3.
Yes,
it could have been the handball over the top and Bernie let fly.
I think there might have been.
Oh, now here's the dasher of the team.
Mark
Connors.
Mark Connors. Well, it's wonderful to see that Mark Connors is coming out and playing football again. All tributes to Bill Giuliano and the physiotherapy performance he's put in. Mark Gibson. A great roving performance.
Well, gutsy performance.
One of the very best players in the side and got a tremendous future at the club, this player.
Yes. Gibbo could go on and become a first player.
He could go on. He's got to prove his kicking.
His father Neville was one of the greats of the game, and Gibbo has just come from, started off as last year in the under-19s, had a few average games, was in and out of the team, then came the finals, come the grand final last year. He was absolutely sensational, and he's gone on with it again this year.
Yes.
In the Crocodiles grand final. That's 2 in a row for Gibbo, and that's a record a lot of players will be very enviable of.
Yes, he should be very pleased with his performance today.
Number
young
65,
Gibson.
Chris Pearson.
Played the game everyone would expect him to play.
Absolutely dynamic. Pace.
long kicking,
determination,
guts.
fantastic pair of hands.
Chris Pearson's been playing with the club for a few years. He's been playing when the Crocs were down in the dim, dark days a few years ago when we only got 14 or 15 players out at Marcelin. Chris Pearson was there. Chris Pearson's here today, and it's great to see.
Number 66, Jerry the Basher Grenville.
Oh, well, he's learned a few cop holes at the academy. Unfortunately, we didn't see the very best of them. I think he displayed admirable restraint.
It'll be interesting to see if the camera picks them up in the slow-mo later on tonight, Steve.
Action track.
Yes. Oh, 68, Richard Hart. What a final series he had.
Would have to have been in the top 3, Richard Hart.
Absolutely magnificent. Dominated the ruck.
Dominated proceedings.
You give the Rovers Gibbo a big rap, but, you know, Gibbo's got one man to thank, and I think it's Richard Hart.
Absolutely. Armchair ride, Richard Hart gave his Rovers.
71, Michael Fennessy.
A lot of class, Mike. And Benny Quin got the medal there, and there's a big crowd for young Ben. Okay, we'll get to Ben.
77, Nick Boylo.
Nick Boylo. We've missed Fenno.
Well.
Let's just talk about Fenno.
Oh, Fenno, yeah.
A touch of class. He could... Did you fart?
No.
Some dogs fart. Fenno's a magnificent footballer, and he has to do a lot more training, and then we'll have a great future at the club. Nick Boylo, well... Oh.
77, Nick Boylo, Steve, yeah. Yeah, wasn't he good in defence when he came on?
Game in the ruck, did the right things, did a lot of talking, gave out a few hand passes, marked his man, and he's in his first season with the club. It's great to see him down here, and we hope he continues on next year.
79, Tony Freeman.
Tony Freeman. They call him Crabs. I don't know why. It's a very unfair nickname. He's had to fight very hard for his position in the side this year. He's been on the interchange bench a lot, but he's displayed a lot of aggression, determination and perseverance, and he's eventually made his way into this side to make a significant contribution to this premiership today, and well done, Tony. Five. Okay, now, last but not least, let's just talk about Paul Lafay for a minute. Taken over the coaching position this year and has done an excellent job. His ability to communicate with the players, his ability to instill discipline in the way the players have played the game, his ability to get the best out of the skills of the players that he has. It's been probably the most skillful side that I've seen down at the Crocs since the 83 flag. And it's all very much a tribute to Paul Lafay and the work that he's put into the side. His attendance at training, coaching the side, week in, week out, and it's been a tribute to him that he has a flawless record as a coach. I personally tip my hat to you, Paul. Well done.
Yeah, and Paul, yeah, same from me. Absolutely fantastic performance this year. One of the great things with the Crocodiles this year has been the competitiveness to get a game in the 18. They've had 25, 30 odd people rolling up week in, week out, and somehow Stevie's kept that competitiveness going. And when you look at the training track and you see players such as Luke Silk who have never been training down on the track on a Tuesday night, you know, Chris Pearson not hitting the grog on a Friday night.
Unbelievable.
You know, Mark Connors, some of the players, Jack Manley. What a change man he has become a man. He's gone from a boy to a man this year, Jack Manley. He wasn't at inflation last night. He wasn't at inflation the Friday night before the second semi-final. I'm sure he might be there next Friday night, though, with the Premiership Cup. It'll fit over his head, Jack Manley. He tested it out on Thursday night. But look, fantastic performance. Disappointed player here. Steve Ring, one of the greats of the St. Kevins old boys. We'll just wait. Some of the players coming forward. We'll see if we can get the skipper, Joe McGrath. Joey McGrath, say a few words. Fantastic. Jerry Grenville, he's a very happy man. Jack Manley, congratulations, Jerry.
Congratulations, Sherry. Great game, Joey. Congratulations, mate.
Thank you very much, committee.
We'll get over to the skipper, Joey McGrath. Just have a few words, Joey.
It's a pleasure to be
What
here.
did you think of the way the game
Very
started? A
hard-fought
very
game.
rough and tough start.
Very rough.
SKOBs threw everything at you early in the first quarter. You gave it all back to him.
Yeah, we're well prepared going into the game.
Absolutely sensational. Peter Tomanovic at fullback, fantastic.
Gibraltar.
Mick Colby, centre half back.
We've got a few social functions to go
Jack
to.
Manley, the Rover, Sterling game.
Back pocket.
Went from the back pocket, ended up with a run on the ball, though, Jack.
Yeah, I had a run. So.
Jack, is it fair to say that this season put the man back into Manly?
Yes.
Over to Peter Grotchen, last year's best and fair. Absolutely sensational to see him playing.
It was hard out there.
Absolutely wrapped together.
I got one
Peter.
touch, and I ran away.
And who have you got to thank, Peter? Paul Lafave. Over to you, Paul. Fantastic performance, Paul. Congratulations.
Thanks very much, Andrew. It's a credit to the boys, their hard work all year. Thanks very much. I'm looking to get really pissed tonight.
I'd like to thank the Whale for molding the side into what it is today. Justin, sadly, you did well when you came on.
Speak to me at about 11 o'clock tonight.
Bernie, the lunchbox. 5 goals. I thought you could have hand passed over the top a couple of times, Bernie.
No way.
5 goals in a grand final, though.
It's an effort. It's an effort and a half.
All right, we've got the best man on the ground here, Chris Bloom. Crenny said you're best man on the ground. I said you're in the top 3. Great game today. Make up for the disappointment of last season when you stuffed it up for us in the last St.Kevins final, wasn't it?
That wasn't a final, that was just a match.
When we were trying to get into the finals.
formality.
We're trying to get into the finals, and you're running down that flank, and you stuffed it up. But you've made up for it today. Congratulations, great game.
Pretty happy about it. You coming along?
Okay.
That's it from Crocodile Park.
Raving and raving reporters.
Steve Moloney,
Signing off from
Andrew Quin. Absolutely fantastic day.